Hello, hello. Good morning, all, and we'll start with today's lecture. Okay, up to the last lecture. Can you hear me all?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, up to the last lecture, we have seen system component activities. In the system component activities, we have seen the different activities like a process management. Then we have gone through the all the detailing of the what is meant by the process and what is which are the tasks are carried under the process management activities. Then we have seen the main memory management. Your memory is divided into three sections: primary, secondary, and the cache area that we have seen in the last lecture. Then we have seen in detail about the file management, the another activities carried by the OS, then input output system management, then secondary memory management, and now we will complete the remaining three of the activities given by the operating system. So this is nothing but the first one of that is the networking. So we know the basic definition of the network. It allows the multiple computers to get connected to each other, and later on we now when we connect to the network, then we can share our devices, just like a printer, scanner. We can share over the network, and the many computers and the many users can access that printer or the scanner. So data sharing, then device sharing is the benefits of the network, and we can easily connect with the another person that are sitting at the remote location. So this is the benefit of the network. So this service also provided by the operating system. So we have studied the distributed system also, to do the multiple tasks and the heavy task at the same time and with the efficient time. The distributed systems are uh, going to be mostly referred. So it is nothing but a collection of the processors, and we can share the resources like a memory, peripheral devices, and the clock, etc. All the resources are shared in the distributed system, and these all the we can say these all the processors in parallel we can use in the distributed system. So we will get the output in the efficient manner and the less amount of a time. So that is the use of the distributed system. So there is a always there is a going to the next point, there is a always difference between the standalone machine and the network system, because the standalone machine has the limited limited resources, limited capabilities of doing the task, whereas when we connect it over the network, then we can simply use the all the power given by the network systems. And then next point, going to the next point, the OS takes care about the data sharing, data sending, and routing the data. So when we are going to connect with the network, we don't need to worry about how we are going to send the data. Just we have to set up the network, and we are going to use the different APIs or the system calls for the sharing the data, and automatically these all the protocols are taken care how to send your data to your computer, to your friend's computer. So we don't need to worry about how we are going to share the data, how we are going to send the data, and how this routing is going to be take place. So these all the activities are taken care by the operating system. So this is the networking is the another system component provided by the operating system. And then we will go to the next, that is the protection system. So when we are working on the computer or the network of a computer, then the protection system is we can say it is a too much important while sharing the data, because your data it can be hacked, or any kind of other circumstances security circumstances can come into the picture when we are going to send over your data over the network. Just like we can imagine that when we are using the any kind of a application for sending the data or communicating with your friends, the another third party person can listen it, or he just can see it. So uh, that is the thing behind the protection system. So simply we can say that when we are going to send the data over the network, then the confidentiality should be take place. So what is mean by the confidentiality? Suppose the person A wants to send data to B, then it should be confidential between the person A and the person B. So this is nothing but the confidential. So uh, another person C cannot see that data or cannot hear that data. So that is nothing but the confidentiality between the sending your data from computer or the from the person A to person B. So when we think about the integrity of integrity of that data, the integrity is nothing but the when we are going to send the data over the network. Suppose the person A is sending data to person B, such as XYZ. Then when it will reach the data to person B, it should be XYZ. It cannot be a PQR. Means the data integrity means when the actual data is going to be received by the person B. So that is the another aspect of the protection system or the data security. And then the authentication comes place when we ensuring that the data is sent by the person A, then that should be sent by the person A, not by the person B. Because the person B can take the username and password of person A and send the data to the person B. So the integrity of data, authentication of the data, and the confidentiality of the data, it should be provided in the protection system by the operating system. So in the first point, they have given that the multiple users interact with the computer, then data security becomes an important issue. When we are working on the network, when we are talking with the another person over the internet, so the data security is too much important here. Then concurrent execution taking place in the machine, internal protection should be required. So this thing comes by the internal part of the operating system. So we know that there are the different processes are working in your simple one machine. When the different processes are going on, so that should be protected, their space should be protected. Otherwise the process 1 can interfere with the process B, process 1 can interfere with the another process, and they should be crashed. So
सर
there is a hmm? Yes.
स्क्रीन डिस्प्ले नाही झाली.
Okay, just a minute. Okay, now it is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I will just I will just repeat these some of the points. So we have seen the first one as a networking. Okay, in the networking, I have defined the definition of the network and the different accept of the network. We have also defined the what is meant by the distributed system. Okay, here it is in the PowerPoint presentation. Then difference in between, there is a difference between the standalone machine and the network system is there, and the OS takes care about the data sharing, data sending, and the routing of the data. So this is the first one about the your today's lecture first component activity provided by the OS. Then we are talking about the protection system. In the protection system, we have talked about the confidentiality, then your integrity, and then confidentiality, integrity, and authentication. So these three accepts are should be required into protection system that is provided by the OS. Then the concurrent execution means many processes are executing at a one time in the operating system. So we can simply say that there should be a different space given to the each process. No process can overlap each other, because if it overlaps each other, then it is going to be crashed. Then every activity executed in the isolation. So what I this is just about the last point. The every activity, every process should be executed in the isolation up to its completion. The next point is about the protection controls the access of the program processes or the users of to the resources of a computer system. The protection control should be provided to the program processes and resources of the computer system, not only for the processes, but here the protection given to the, yeah, resources, also for the resources of the computer system. So this is about the protection mechanism provided by the operating system. Then this is the last activity provided by the operating system, that is the command interpreter system. In the Linux operating system, the so first of all we discuss about the what is mean by the command interpreter system. It is an interface between the OS and the user. What is meant by the command interpreter? It is a simply interface between the OS and the user, and it is provided as a CUI, character user interface. And how it is provided in the Windows and the Linux, we have discussed that. On the Windows, simply they have provided the command prompt, and on the Linux, they have provided the terminal. So we can say by using the terminal, the command interpreter system has been worked in the operating system. The user gives command which are executed by the OS. Okay, the next point is about the whenever user wants to execute any kind of a command, then user should give it as an input to the OS, and it is going to be executed by the operating system. Okay, it is not a part of kernel. Okay, this thing is executed in the user space. The next point is about the multiple command interpreter are supported by the OS. Okay, generally Windows supports the only one, but in the Linux platform, the multiple command interpreters are supported. Multiple command interpreters are supported, and generally it is called as a shell. Okay, the shell in the Linux operating system, the command interpreter is called as a shell, and there are the different types of the shells are present in the Linux operating system, just like a C shell, born again shell, then TC shell, turbo shell. So these are the different kinds of the shell are present on the Linux operating system. Shell is nothing but the simply command interpreter system. Okay, and the last point is about the shell is executed in the user mode. Okay, I will show you here what is the command interpreter. You can simply go to the start and you can type the CMD and enter. Okay, here you will get the command prompt. So this is nothing but the shell provided by the Windows operating system, but generally on the Windows operating system it is not called as a shell, it is generally called as a command prompt. And when we open the terminal in on the Linux platform, it is called as a shell, and there we can see the different types of the shell provided by the Linux operating system, just like a C shell that I have uh, 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 given you, the C shell, TC shell, born again shell. These are the different kinds of the shell. So which are the why we are using the different shells here? Okay, so this is the command prompt of the Windows operating system. So this is nothing but the command interpreter. I think this point is clear to all of you. Okay, and every shell, okay, we have the different types of the shell here, and every shell, okay, I will just show you different types of shell in Linux. Okay, here you can see there is a born shell is there, corn shell is there, born again shell is there, POSIX shell is there. So there are the different types of the shells are present, and each shell is having the different features. Okay, so then which features are provided by the these kinds of the shell? Okay, we can simply say it is just like a by using the arrow key we can, okay, when we open the command prompt, okay, and give any kind of a command just like a cd command. Okay, and when we are going to